Okay, guys, this is Unit 9 Word Wall. You've already gotten the words, but now let me try to explain them. I've looked over a lot of your sentences, and some of the words seem to be confusing to you. So let's go over them one at a time for your quiz this week. First off, commodity. A commodity is anything you can't spend at the grocery store, but it's still worth money. Rubber, soybeans, copper, aluminum, fuel oil. Now, I can't go to the store and say, okay, give me that steak, here's 3 cans of oil to pay for it. But we all can agree that oil is worth money. That's what a commodity is. A good of worth for trade. So go. Next, this unit is based on imperialism. And if you take a look at the map, you can see all the ways that we were imperialistic. Guam, Philippines, Cuba, there's Virgin Islands, Midway, Wake Island, Samoa, Guam, Alaska, Hawaii. Imperialism means a stronger country dominates a weaker country. All right, folly is foolishness. The example here was when Secretary of State Seward in 1868 buys Alaska for $60 million. Everybody said, are you crazy? That's pure folly. And they even named Alaska Seward's Folly. Actually, what a great decision in the hindsight. Jingoism. Jingoism is nationalism on steroids. Aggressive nationalism that usually leads to war. So you could say, America is the greatest country on earth, and that would be nationalism. When you say, America is the greatest country on earth, and thus we're going to crush you, no, that's aggressive nationalism or jingoism. Obsolete, and something's technologically out of date. And man, you guys with your video games, you sure know about obsolete. Believe it or not, I have a PlayStation 1 at my house. All right, a corollary. Please do not look this up on the internet. Corollary has many different definitions, and the one you need is simply an addition to a doctrine. So we got the Monroe Doctrine here. The Monroe Doctrine, stay out Europe and we'll stay out of your business. All right, Monroe Doctrine. Now, here comes Teddy, and he adds something to that doctrine, saying if anybody in the Western Hemisphere owes Europe money, we'll collect it to keep Europe out. Adding to the Monroe Doctrine. It was a corollary, and they named it Roosevelt's Corollary. All right. Native Americans were guerrilla fighters. They didn't meet you toe-to-toe. Instead, they hid behind rocks, hid behind trees. They're not going to give you a shot at them. That's guerrilla fighting. An unconventional soldier. Maybe farmer by day, soldier by night. And if you're on horseback, that means you are part of cavalry. So when the cavalry comes in, they're on horseback. Now, today's cavalry is in tanks and helicopters. But back then, Teddy is going to lead a cavalry charge. Next, morality. What is moral? Well, deciding whether something's right or wrong. That's morality. So, is cheating moral? I would say no. All right, there is Guam, part of the United States. Not exactly the biggest part of the United States, but it is a protectorate. We gained it from the Spanish-American War, from Spain, and it's a relationship of protection and partial control. Nobody today would ever attack Guam, knowing that if they did, it's the same as attacking the United States itself. Puerto Rico, U.S. Virgin Islands, U.S. Samoa, all these are protectorates. Next, propaganda. Propaganda. This is the spreading of biased ideas. So if I go out every day and I put on my Canvas site that everybody needs to get tested on the fact that bald men are the smartest in the world, and I constantly show, well, it's true, of course, you know that, but nonetheless, the spreading of biased ideas. Here in World War II, spreading of biased ideas. I don't know how biased it is to say Hitler was beep, 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 beep. Yeah. All right. When there is no winner, like playing tic-tac-toe, that's called a stalemate. And in World War I, we're going to see trench warfare. Nobody was winning. Okay, in wartime, they don't just count the dead. They count the wounded too. Frankly, if you kill somebody in battle, you've taken one person out of the war, out of the battle. If you wound somebody, you're possibly taking 3 to 4 people out of the battle. You got to take the person, the medic, and 2 stretcher bearers. So which would you rather do in battle? But what if you have studied the Bible and, boy, you believe to the very core of your soul that thou shalt not kill? Well, thus, if you refuse to fight in a war after being drafted in the army, you would be known as a conscientious objector. Simply put, espionage is the act of spying. So if you're spying, you are committing the act of espionage. Hey, that'd be a great sentence, wouldn't it? Migration, mass movement. Here I got a picture of the migration of monarch butterflies. We're going to talk about, starting around 1910, a mass migration of African Americans from rural South to cities in the North. Convoy, a group of vehicles traveling together. We're going to see in wartime, it's a bunch of ships traveling together to protect each other, especially from submarines. One of the, if not the worst crime in the military is to commit mutiny. Mutiny is overthrowing a ship's captain, and the penalty is death. The easiest definition we have is influenza. Simply put, the flu. Armistice, that's an official peace. So we've been at war for 4 years. Finally, there's no official winner, but everybody says, okay, time out. Let's quit right now. Let's sign a peace. And that was called an armistice. It happened on the 11th day of the 11th month at the 11th hour. Ultimatum. If you don't get a 60 in this class, you will fail. Period. That is an ultimatum, a final demand. Reparations. If you sue somebody and they have to pay you, the judge says, I rule in favor of the plaintiff for $1,000. You just won $1,000 in reparations. When we talk about countries, we're talking about damages from war. So the Europeans would make Germany pay huge reparations. This would be one of the major causes for World War II. All right? Good luck with the words. Go ahead to my PowerPoints. You know you got to study 7, 8, and Units 9 for this word wall quiz. Good luck, everybody.